Aku percaya akan Roh Kudus, Gereja Kristus yang kudus, persekutuan para kudus, pengampunan dosa, kebangkitan badan, kehidupan yang kekal.
Salve. Pertama-tama saya mau buat disclaimer kepada semua audiens, bahwa video ini ditujukan kepada para pengikut Kristus di dalam Gereja Katolik dan kepada siapa saja yang ingin mempelajari iman Katolik dengan tulus dan jujur. Tujuannya adalah katekese untuk memperkuat iman kepada Yesus Kristus dan memberikan tambahan pengetahuan tentang ajaran Kristiani di dalam gereja yang satu, kudus, Katolik, dan Apostolik, yang bersumber pada 3 pilar kebenaran yaitu Alkitab, tradisi suci gereja, dan magisterium gereja. Selain itu, video ini bersifat apologetik. Artinya, konten video ini berisi argumentasi-argumentasi yang mempertanggungjawabkan kebenaran ajaran iman Katolik. Jika Anda bukan beragama Katolik, saya tidak menyarankan Anda untuk lanjut menonton karena ajaran iman yang dijelaskan mungkin berbeda dan tidak sesuai dengan ajaran iman di dalam agama Anda. Namun jika Anda tetap ingin lanjut menonton, itu adalah hak Anda masing-masing sebagai pribadi yang memiliki kehendak bebas dan saya tidak bisa melarangnya. Jika Anda tidak setuju dengan ajaran iman Katolik yang dijelaskan di dalam video ini, tidak apa-apa. Toh, ini bukan ajaran agama Anda. Sekarang mari kita simak videonya. Salve! Saudara-saudaraku umat Katolik. Salah satu tuduhan palsu yang paling sering dialamatkan oleh orang-orang Protestan yang anti-Katolik adalah orang Katolik melakukan praktek penyembahan berhala. Buktinya, orang-orang Katolik selalu mencium patung salib di setiap perayaan Jumat Agung. Orang-orang Katolik juga suka mencium gambar-gambar orang kudus. Selain itu orang-orang Katolik kalau berdoa pasti pasang lilin di samping patung Bunda Maria, patung Salib Yesus, atau patung orang kudus. Selain itu, Paus Gereja Katolik juga sering berdoa di depan patung Bunda Maria, bahkan mencium salib, atau gambar-gambar orang kudus. Ini adalah bukti-bukti tak terbantahkan bahwa Gereja Katolik adalah penyembah patung, penyembah gambar, dan penyembah berhala. Padahal Tuhan Allah di dalam Alkitab sudah melarang membuat patung segala makhluk yang ada di atas langit, di surga, di bumi, dan di bawah laut dan tidak boleh sujud menyembahnya. Lihat Keluaran 20 ayat 4-6. Saking semangatnya mendiskreditkan Gereja Katolik sebagai penyembah berhala, para Protestan anti-Katolik ini bahkan rajin membuat propaganda di media-media sosial seperti YouTube. Akun-akun seperti Rahasia Ajaran Kultus, Cucu Paus, Santo Patrice Smith, Princess Jane, Kapopoka dan banyak lagi, adalah para anti-Katolik yang kerap memberikan tuduhan-tuduhan palsu menggunakan ilmu cocokmologi dan comotologi untuk mendiskreditkan Gereja Katolik. Padahal gereja-gereja apostolik lainnya yaitu Ortodoks Timur, Ortodoks Oriental dan Asiria Timur pun melakukan hal yang sama dengan yang dilakukan Gereja Katolik. Ini wajar karena dulu mereka adalah satu gereja yang didirikan Yesus. Namun kita tahu bahwa semua tuduhan itu palsu, sama sekali bohong, dan sampah belaka karena kebencian mereka terhadap Gereja Katolik. Mereka selalu berusaha menyesatkan umat Katolik agar meninggalkan iman mereka. Nah, sebagai katekese penguat iman bagi umat Katolik terkait topik ini, dalam video ini kita mendengarkan Sam Shamoun memaparkan 14 bukti dari dalam Alkitab bahwa Tuhan justru tidak melarang pembuatan ikon seperti patung atau gambar. Tuhan juga memerintahkan membuat patung atau gambar-gambar makhluk surga maupun bumi, dan bahkan memberikan penghormatan khusus terhadap patung-patung dan gambar-gambar tersebut. Mari kita simak videonya.
Now let's end it with icons. Because he misquoted Exodus 20. Gee, I've never heard that before. Here it is. Veneration of icons, an unbiblical tradition or biblical truth. Exodus 20. What is it really saying? Exodus 20 verses 1 to 5. Okay. Now God spoke all these words saying, I am the Lord, Yahuwah, your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt and out of the house of bondage. You shall have no other gods before me. You shall not make for yourself any graven idol or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water below the earth. See, don't make an image of things in heaven, angels, or sun and moon and stars, or anything on earth. You shall not bow down to them or serve them, for I, the Lord, Yahuwah, your God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquities of the fathers on the children to the third and fourth generation of them who hate me. Okay. Is this saying you shouldn't have any images, icons? Absolutely not. Let me tell you what it is saying and what it isn't saying. What it's saying is, you do not look to any creature in heaven, on earth, or in the seas as a god or goddess that you cling to and hope in and believe they're a god or a goddess, and you're not to make images of these creatures that you take to be a god or a goddess that you cling to and hope in. Let me repeat. Let me repeat. I want to prove this. It is not saying you can't have icons. You can't have statues. It's saying you cannot look to a creature, whether in heaven, on earth, or in the sea below, as a god or a goddess that you hope in, cling to, worship as the god or goddess that is a sign to your well-being. And you cannot have an image of any creature that you have taken as a god or a goddess. Okay, let me prove that. If God is saying, don't make any icons whatsoever, then you have a contradiction. Because now watch what God tells Moses to do. Same God, same Moses, same book. Exodus 26, verse 1 and 31. Moreover, you shall make the tabernacle with 10 curtains of fine twisted linen, and blue, and purple, and scarlet. Make them with the cherubim. Wait, cherubim are things in heaven. Cherubim are spirit creatures that are before the throne. Why is God telling Moses to craft an image of cherubim attached to the mercy seat? The work of a skilled workman. You shall make a veil of blue and a purple and a scarlet and fine twined linen. It shall be made with cherubim, the skillful work of a workman. All right, how about Exodus 37, 6 to 9? He made the mercy seat of pure gold, 2.5 cubits long and 1.5 cubits wide. He made 2 cherubim of gold. He made them of hammered metal on the 2 ends of the mercy seat, 1 cherub on one end and 1 cherub on the other end. Of one piece with the mercy seat, he made the cherubim on its 2 ends. The cherubim spread out their wings, so they even have wings, upward, covering the mercy seat with their wings, right? With their faces toward each other. The faces of the cherubim were looking toward the mercy seat. Exodus 37, 6 to 9. Oh, gee. Now watch how God honors this image that Moses fashioned. The mercy seat, the Ark of the Covenant with the cherubim. Look at how God honors that image. When the Philistines took the Ark of the Covenant, look what happened. Who appeared on it? 1 Samuel 4, verse 4. Watch. So the people sent to Shiloh that they might bring from there the Ark of the Covenant of Yahuwah of hosts. That's the mercy seat with the cherubim. Same image. Overlaid with gold. Same image. Okay. Who dwells above the cherubim. And the 2 sons of Eli, Hophni, Phinehas were there with the Ark of the Covenant of God. Now watch how God is going to honor the ark. When the Philistines steal it, look what the Lord does. They take the Ark of the Covenant, they steal the Ark of the Covenant, and they put it in the temple of their god, Dagon. Look how God honors his ark and image. Watch here. 1 Samuel 5, verses 3 to 4. When the Ashdodites arose early in the morning, Dagon had fallen upon his face to the ground before the ark of the Lord. Do you see how God is honoring his own ark, this image? That when they put the ark in the temple of Dagon as a sign that Yahweh had been subdued by their God, they saw the idol of Dagon bowing before the ark. What do you think did that? Who do you think caused the idol of Dagon to bow before the icon of the Ark of the Covenant? Now watch what else God does. And they took Dagon and set him in his place again. Now watch the next day. When they arose early on the next morning, again Dagon was fallen upon his face to the ground before the Ark of Yahweh, and the head of Dagon and both the palms were cut off upon the threshold. Only the torso of Dagon was left to him. Who do you think did that? Who do you think showed honor to the icon of the Ark of the Covenant by miraculously cutting off the head of the idol Dagon and the palms, so it's only a torso lying prostrate before the ark, as a sign to the pagans, the God of Israel is real and your God is fake? Why is God honoring an image that had cherubim attached to it? Look at how God honors, the ark. When people looked into it who were not worthy to look in an icon, guys, this is an icon. This is not the actual mercy seat of God in heaven. It's an icon. When they even looked at it who are unworthy, look what God does to them. 1 Samuel 6, 19 to 20. Then he struck the men of Beth Shemesh because they had looked into the Ark of Yahweh, just looking at this icon. He struck 50,070 men. And the people lamented because the Lord Yahweh had struck the people with a great slaughter. The men of Beth Shemesh said, who is able to stand before Yahweh, the Lord, this holy God? And to whom will he go up from us? He struck them dead because they were not worthy to look at an icon which had the image of cherubim. And not only that, look what the Lord did. He would even appear in a visible cloud descending upon that image. Number 789. And then Moses went into the tent of the meeting to speak with him. And he heard the voice of one speaking to him from where? The icon, the mercy seat. He heard the voice of God audibly from the icon, the mercy seat that was on the Ark of the Testimony, from between the two cherubim. Number 789. And he spoke to him. Exodus 25, 18 to 22. You shall make 2 cherubim of gold. God is now telling him, make image of things in heaven. Make them of hammered work at the 2 ends of the mercy seat. Make 1 cherub on the one end, and the other cherub on the other hand. On the other end, from the mercy seat, you shall make the cherubim on its 2 ends. The cherubim shall stretch forth their wings. So an icon, an image of things in heaven with wings. Wow. But I thought said you will have no image. Covering the mercy seat with their wings and facing one another. The faces of the cherubim are to face toward the mercy seat. And then God says what? Look what God's going to do. He's going to honor this icon by then descending visibly in a pillar of cloud upon this icon. Here, look what he says. Exodus 25, 18 to 22. You shall put the mercy seat above upon the ark, and in the ark you shall put the testimony that I will give you. I will meet with you there, and I will meet with you from above the mercy seat. So I'm going to descend visibly in pillar cloud on it from between the 2 cherubim, which are upon the ark of the testimony. I will speak with you all that I will command you for the children of Israel. God himself commissioned images, icons of things in heaven that he honored. Here, let me show you. I got more. Look at what Joshua and the elders did before the icon of the ark. This is an icon. This is an image. Here it is. Joshua 7, verse 6. Then Joshua ripped his clothes. Joshua and the Israelites fell on their faces to the ground in front of the ark of Yahweh until evening and threw dirt upon their heads. How dare they venerate an icon? So you Protestants, how dare you accuse us of idolatry when we kiss the cross out of our love for the Lord Jesus, what he did for us on the cross, or if we kiss an icon of one of the saints or angels, right? Not because they're gods or goddesses, but because we honor them, because the Lord honored them, and we show our love for them because they were great in the sight of God. Now watch what the Lord did to Israelites who touched the Ark of the Covenant in a manner not prescribed by the Lord. 2 Samuel chapter 6, verses 1 to 11. God had told the Levites, put rings in the Ark of the Covenant, put poles in the rings, and carry it on your shoulder. Do not put it on a beast of burden. Do not put it on a calf. You are to carry it. Do you think they listened to God? Guess what they did? They did the very thing God said, don't do it. God said, don't put my ark on a beast of burden to carry it. Put rods in the holes, and the Levites will carry it. The Levites will carry it, right, on their shoulders. Watch what the Lord did. Okay. When they didn't honor the Lord, they put the ark on beast of burden, and as it was about to fall over, Uzzah reached out to stop it from falling. Look what God did to him. Again, David gathered all the chosen men in Israel, 30,000. David and all of the people who were with him arose and went from Bala of Judah to bring up the ark of God, so named for the name of the Lord, Yahweh of hosts, who sits enthroned among the cherubim that are upon it. Do you see what the ark is called? They brought up the ark of God. What is it called? It's called by the name of Yahweh. To bring up the ark of God, so named for the name of Yahweh. So the ark bears God's name. That means God's presence is attached to it. The Lord said the priests, the Levites, will carry it on rods. They didn't listen to God. They put it on beasts of burden. Uzzah reached out and took hold of the ark because the oxen had stumbled. The Lord became angry against Uzzah, and God struck him down on the spot for his irreverence. He died there beside the ark of God. David became angry because of the outburst of the Lord Yahuwah against Uzzah. That place is called Perez Uzzah to this day. David feared the Lord Yahuwah that day, and he thought, how can the ark of the Lord come to me? Do you see how God is honoring the ark? God is honoring an icon. Did you see the same God commissioned an icon and honored the icon and attached his name to the icon and his presence to the icon? And he struck people dead who dishonored the icon and even destroyed an idol to show that his icon points to the true God over against the idol of a fake God. Now watch what Solomon did. When Solomon built the temple, on the walls of the temple, look what he put. And on the panels that were set in the frames were lions. Wait, he designed images of lions, oxen and cherubim, things in heaven and on earth. And on the frames, both above and below, the lions and oxen, there were wreaths of beveled work. On the surface of its stay, on its panels, he engraved cherubim, lions, palm trees, according to the space of each, with wreaths all around. What the heck is Solomon doing? Carving images of things in heaven and on earth on the walls of the temple. Look what else he did. Look what else he did. 1 Kings 10, 18 to 20. Remember, it says no image of anything in heaven, on earth, or in the seas below. I guess Solomon did not get the memo. The king also made a great throne of ivory and overlaid it with the best gold. The throne had 6 steps, and the back of the throne was round, and there were armrests on either side of the seat. Now watch, with 2 lions standing beside the armrest. So you had 2 lions, icons of lions. 12 lions stood on the sides of the 6 steps, and there was no other like it in any kingdom. He designed 14 statues, icons of lions. But hold on. 1 Kings 6, 18 to 24. Again, the temple. What did he design for the temple? 1 Kings 6, 18 to 34. The cedar of the house within the house of the Lord had carvings of gourds and open flowers, even designed flowers, images. Watch here. Within the inner sanctuary, this is God's temple, okay? Within the inner sanctuary, he made 2 cherubim. Oh, images of cherubim again. From olive wood, each 10 cubits high. One wing of the cherub was 5 cubits. The other wing was also 5 cubits. The farthest part of the one wing to the farthest part of the other was 10 cubits. That's like about 15 feet. The other cherub was 10 cubits, about 15 feet high. These are huge, man. Both the cherubim were the same shape and size. Look what he's designing in the house of God. These are images in God's house. And God blessed the house and accepted the house. The height of the one cherub was 10 cubits, and so was that of the other cherub. He set the cherubim within the inner sanctuary, and they stretched forth the wings of the cherubim so that the wing of the one touched the one wall, and the wing of the other cherub touched the other wall, and their wings touched one another in the middle of the house. He overlaid the cherubim with gold. He carved, right, all the walls with carved figures of cherubim and palm trees and open flowers both inside and out. What are you doing, Solomon? You are not to have any image of anything in heaven, on earth, or in the sea below. And then now watch here. 1 Kings 6, 18-34. He carved on them, the temple, This is the temple of where God accepted its place of worship. Cherubim, palm trees, open flowers, overlaid them with gold, spread gold upon the cherubim and upon the palm trees. So also he made for the entrance to the nave four-sided posts of olive wood. The 2 doors were made from fir tree, with 2 leaves of each door folding. He carved on them cherubim and palm trees and open flowers and covered them with gold, fitted upon the carved work. What is he doing? But then look what God shows Ezekiel in Ezekiel 41, verses 18-20 and 25. God shows Ezekiel the new temple. He's showing him the temple. And it's God who's showing him the following. Watch here. He saw it was made with cherubim and palm trees, so that a palm tree was between cherub and cherub. And every cherub had 2 faces. 2 faces? So that the face of a man was toward the palm tree on the one side, and the face of a young lion toward the palm tree on the other side. It was made throughout the temple all around. From the ground to the top of the door and on the wall of the nave, cherubim and palm trees were carved. There were made on them, on the doors of the temple, even the doors of the temple, cherubim and palm trees like those made on the walls. You see why I say the Bible in the wrong hands is dangerous? Now, watch this. When in Numbers 21, verses 4-9, the people murmured against God, and God sent fiery serpents to bite them dead. They asked Moses to pray to God to heal them. Look what God said. The Lord said to Moses, make a poisonous serpent. Wait, God, why are you having him fashion an image of something on earth and put it on a pole? And it will be that everyone who is bitten, when he looks at it, will live. Why are you now having your people look at an image, an idol, God, to heal them? Why don't you just heal them? Why not just heal them? Why make an idol of a bronze serpent, which represent the serpents that bit them to death, and they have to now look at that icon, look at that image to be healed? What are you doing? God, didn't you not say no images? Anything in heaven or on earth or in the sea below? And it will be that everyone who's bitten, when he looks at it, will live. Moses made a bronze serpent. It's made even of bronze. Put it on a pole. And if a serpent had bitten any man, when he looked at the bronze serpent, he lived. What is God doing? Why are you having Moses make an image of a serpent, which was the very thing that killed the Israelites dead? A serpent bit them dead. And then have them look at the bronze serpent to be healed. Not only make an image, but they have to look at it. And yet, what does Jesus do with this? John 3:14-16. Look what Jesus does with this. Just as Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness, even so much must the Son of Man be lifted up, that whoever believes in him should not perish, but may have eternal life. Now, let me bury the Protestant argument. If God would have Moses make an image of a bronze serpent on a pole, fashioned after those serpents that bit his people dead, Do you dare say God will condemn us for making an image of his holy Son hanging on a cross when we are now to look to the Son, fix our gaze on the Son and meditate on the Son and the blood he shed on the cross for our salvation? You think God would be against that? When Jesus himself says that bronze serpent is a picture of me being lifted up on the cross to mortify your sin, to kill sin in my body, so that by looking at me, fixing your gaze on me, you can be healed and receive eternal life. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believes in him should not perish but have eternal life. Are you now telling me God had no problem, in fact commanded Moses, make an image of the very thing that killed them dead? The serpents was killing them dead. That was the cause of their death. Biting them, right? Filling them with poison. Now make an image of the thing that caused their death, serpent. Hang it on a pole, which would give the image that the serpent is being impaled. Why a pole? Because if you saw the bronze serpent, it looked like the serpent was being impaled, killed by the pole, as a sign that God is killing that venomous poison that's causing you to die, as a picture of Christ becoming flesh, dying the human death we deserve on a cross in order to pay the debt of sin, so now you can be forgiven. So if God is okay with you making an image of a bronze serpent, you're telling me he's going to condemn you for making an icon or a statue of his glorious, beautiful Son hanging on the cross, when that is the way you are healed and saved and forgiven? All right. So what is idolatry? Are you ready? What is idolatry? Let me repeat what idolatry is. When I make an image of anything in heaven, on earth, or in the sea that I take as a god or a goddess, I'm saying this is a god, this is a goddess, alongside of or in place of Yahweh, and I'm looking to that one as my god or goddess that I depend on, that's idolatry. This is why when the Israelites started worshiping the idols of the false gods Baal and Asherah, and then they started worshiping the bronze serpent with the gods and goddesses, making the bronze serpent into a god, that's when the bronze serpent was destroyed. 2 Kings 18, verses 1 to 4. Notice when the bronze serpent was destroyed. In the 3rd year of Hoshea, son of Elah, the king of Israel, Hezekiah, the son of Ahaz, king of Judah, became king. Watch. He was 25 years old when he became king, and he reigned 29 years in Jerusalem. His mother's name was Abi, daughter of Zechariah. He did what was right in the sight of the Lord. Notice, he did what made God happy in God's sight. You can do things that are right in the sight of the world and get God angry. Or you can do things that are right in God's sight and have the world hate you. According to everything that David, his father, did. Now watch. He removed the high places. Now why the high places? Because in the high places, the Israelites would build altars to false gods and goddesses and build idols to false gods and goddesses like Baal and Astarte or Ishtar, Asherah, and worship them. Notice when the bronze serpent is destroyed. Pay attention. He removed the high places. Watch here. Broke down the sacred pillars. Some believe these are phallic symbols representing male and female organs. Cut down the Asherah, that was a false goddess, the wife of El. Crushed the bronze serpent that Moses had made. Now he destroyed the bronze serpent. Why? For until those days, the children of Israel had made offerings to it. They called it Nehushtan. Do you see when the bronze serpent became an idol? When it was combined with idols of gods and goddesses and phallic symbols that the Israelites started worshiping as gods and goddesses alongside of Yahweh. Then it became an idol because it was taken as a divinity and it had to be destroyed. So idolatry is when you make an image of a thing that you view as a god or goddess, that you belong to, that you answer to, that you look to for salvation and for your daily needs. That's idolatry. Idolatry is not having an icon image of a creature that you know is a creature, that you don't see as a god or goddess, that you don't worship as a god or goddess. That is not idolatry. Last time I checked, I'm not aware of any Orthodox or Catholic that thinks Mary is a goddess and they worship her as a goddess. Last time I checked, I don't recall any Orthodox or Catholic that thinks the icon of Peter is an icon of a god that they worship as a god and look to as a god. It is no more idolatrous for you to have an image of the Holy Mother that you kiss, showing your love for her as a creature created by Jesus, owned by Jesus. Then you take a picture of your dead mother and kiss it. It is no more idolatrous to kiss an icon of John the Baptist or of Ignatius or Polycarp, whoever, Paul, because you acknowledge them as creatures created by God, filled with the Spirit, used mightily by God, whom God exalted because they love Jesus so much, than having a picture of your daughter or your son or your brother or your father and kissing that picture because of how near and dear they are to your heart.
Aku percaya akan Roh Kudus, Gereja Kristus yang kudus, persekutuan para kudus, pengampunan dosa, kebanggaan